Hey guys, how's it going? Jason here, bringing you an update on the 75-gallon tank with Peacocks. It's doing great. And I'll show you my wife's saltwater tank real quick. This is a long story. I'm gonna try to keep it short. This guy I know here around where I live has turned into a big fat ordeal. This is why I hate these aquarium elitists. I'm sorry, they're freaking assholes. And like, there's so many other words I would like to use. This guy, I spent $40 and gave an LED light to this guy, and he gave me this hybrid VA cichlid. Here it is. Let me show you a video. So that's the fish, and what happened was after a week and a half, this fish would not eat. This turned into a big fat freaking ordeal, and this guy went all freaking holier than thou that I'm a piece of crap. My fish are junky, freaking stupid fish from PetSmart, and he has the best fish in the world because he spends hundreds of dollars because that VA apparently costs $300. Now, I don't know anything about hybrids, and I don't freaking care. I think spending that much money on fish is stupid. However, that's just my opinion. I'm not going to think less of you if you spend hundreds of dollars on it. That's but to trash me for the fish that I have is pretty stupid. Basically, I ended up giving the fish back to the guy, and I didn't get anything back in return. But I basically insinuated he got ripped off, and then in turn he kind of ripped me off, which maybe I shouldn't have done. But I would think a $300 fish would eat in a week and a half. And he kept making fun of me. He's like, oh, some fish don't eat for a couple of weeks. Some fish don't eat for a couple of weeks? Yeah, that means there's something wrong. You guys know I've never claimed to be an expert. I've had many things go wrong with my tank, and I will never, ever, ever respect anybody who has that attitude like they freaking know everything, because you don't, okay? You can spend $1,000 on this fish and put him in a tank with something and it'll freaking die because it's a fish, okay? I don't want to hear it. It is the dumbest freaking crap I've ever heard. Okay. My rant is over. That fish is gone. It's not in this tank. I'm done with that fish. I'm done with that guy. Never dealing with him again. Could have been a good fish if it would freaking eat, but it wouldn't freaking eat because it was a little chicken. $300 chicken. Okay, let's do a close-up on the Peacock tank, and then I'll show you my wife's saltwater tank. Okay, guys, here are the Peacocks. I'm trying to hold this phone in one spot where I can get the best lighting. These guys are doing freaking amazing, especially since I got that stupid wannabe $300 VA fish out of here. Some of these fish kind of hide a lot. You can see the electric blue right there on the right side of the tank. He kind of just hangs around there. This guy just kind of hangs around there. The rest kind of swim around and are doing really good. They're all eating. Little Venestus, he's up there. He's getting bigger. Also got two dolphins. And he became tank boss. That guy right there. He became overall tank boss. They all kind of chase each other, but he is definitely the boss in this tank. All right, so that's pretty much it right there. You guys can see all the fish. Everything's doing good. The filtration's doing good. I'm testing my waters. The nitrates kind of go up to about 20 ppm. I make sure I'm doing about 2 water changes a week now. Canister filter, everything on this tank is doing great. No complaints. I am just gonna leave this alone. Let these guys grow out. Nobody is actually killing each other in this tank. They're definitely chasing each other around. But nobody's like actually trying to kill anybody, which is really cool. So I'm leaving this. I'm just gonna leave this. We'll do updates on this. I'm gonna watch these guys grow and get huge. I know that Venestus can get like 8-9 inches long, probably even bigger. But yeah, that's it on the Peacock tank, guys. I'm freaking loving it. Now let's check out my wife's saltwater tank because this was a nightmare. Okay, here is my wife's saltwater tank. The picture may not be the clearest. There is a little film on the inside of the glass. But as you can see, this Duncan. Man, this thing has so many heads on it right now. The Kenya has actually fragged and grew down there. There's actually frags in the back of the tank. This guy is doing really good. And we also got this little hammerhead that's starting to come back out. And I'll tell you what happened with this whole thing is my levels that you need for corals were going down. The calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, sorry, that's upside down. Whoops. All my levels were going off because no one really explained this to me. So I got this Foundation Pro multi-test kit, I got this Phosphate Pro test kit, and I actually got some liquid magnesium, alkalinity, and calcium. All these levels were really low, but that's why all my corals were slowly dying. All of those levels were really low. And I also had no nitrates, so I actually took off one of my filters. I took out the BioHome filter media, and I put in this saltwater stuff. It's just some inert, very, very porous material because I actually don't want this tank eating up all the nitrates you actually need. And I've been testing this tank and running this for like the last 3 weeks or so, and there's still no nitrates. With one less filter and no BioHome, there's still no nitrates. This is a complete cycled fish tank. So a long story short, I'm not going to go into detail at all about how to use that test kit and do all this stuff. But once you test your well, you add the appropriate calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium, which is a big thing. All these corals, everything started popping back out. Even this little guy that's never really grown, Aiken, is starting to look better. I actually do need to test all these parameters again here. But the fish are still doing good. Still got the 2 clownfish, the goby, and the garama is in there somewhere. All right, I'm done with the saltwater tank. I wish I could go over a lot more stuff. It's really hard to film that tank. The lighting, I think, from the coral light really throws off the focus and the light on my iPhone, and it's really hard to get a good video on there. So, but long story short, I had to spend $150 on all this testing and chemical stuff so I can bring those corals back and make it healthy. Happy wife, happy life. It's her tank, so hey, if she approves $150, then I'll do it, I guess. Anyway, Peacock tank, you guys can see, is doing really good. I'll give you an update here in another few weeks. Hey, as far as that aquarium elitist crap goes, let me tell you guys something. I don't care what fish you have. You can have guppies or you can have big, huge Oscars. Whatever you're happy with, that's what matters. It doesn't matter how much you spend on them. If your fish are healthy and happy, that's what matters, okay? But if you're one of those people out there, you're going to get a big old ego on your shoulder because you spend hundreds of dollars and you think your fish are better and you know more in this hobby, you can go F yourself. I'm so sick and tired of those people. I got no time for it, man. I don't even understand how you can get that attitude in this hobby. You know, like, it's just fish, okay? I mean, if you want to put yourself on a pedestal because you think you know more, I want nothing to do with you. And I made a whole video about that before. You know, unless you do it their way, you're scum. And I had this dude completely turn on me because his $300 awesome fish wouldn't eat because a few peacock cichlids stressed it out. So it just goes to show it doesn't really matter how much a fish costs. The price of a fish doesn't matter. Is the fish going to be happy in your tank? Well, apparently this fish did not like my peacocks. Well, I'm choosing my cheap $10 peacocks over some cheesy $300 fish that won't eat. So, thanks for watching, guys. I will give you an update here in a few weeks. Take care out there.